Welcome to the Gold IRA Blueprint Podcast, where we explore ways you can really protect your retirement savings.
Yeah.
And, today we're going to dive into this fascinating approach that combines the stability of gold
Mm-hmm.
with a sophisticated tool called private placement life insurance,
Okay.
or PPLI.
Yeah.
And it's a combination that could offer some unique advantages,
Right.
especially when it comes to, things like inflation and maybe even lowering your tax burden.
Absolutely.
So we've brought in an expert to help us understand all this, but before we get started,
Sure.
I want to make sure you have the resources you need to choose the right Gold IRA company.
Great.
For a free checklist that will really walk you through that whole process step by step,
Okay.
head over to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Gotcha.
Now let's jump right in. I'm so excited to have an expert here who can shed some light on this whole approach.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm always excited to talk about strategies that can help people take control of their financial future.
Yeah. Let's start with something I think a lot of people are concerned about these days, inflation.
Yes.
It feels like everything is getting more expensive, and it's kind of scary to think that
Right.
our hard-earned savings might not be enough to maintain our lifestyle in retirement.
You're absolutely right. Inflation is a real concern.
Yeah.
And it's something that retirees need to plan for carefully. One way to protect your savings
Yes.
from the erosive effects of inflation is to consider diversifying your portfolio
Right.
with assets that have historically held their value well, even during times of economic uncertainty.
Oh, okay, so that's where gold comes in.
Exactly.
Okay.
Gold has been a store of value for centuries.
Wow.
It's considered a non-correlated asset,
Yeah.
meaning that its price movements don't typically follow the ups and downs of the stock market.
Sure.
So when the stock market takes a hit,
Right.
gold often remains relatively stable or even increases in value, providing a potential buffer for your overall portfolio.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Okay.
If a big chunk of my savings is in traditional retirement accounts
Yeah.
that are heavily invested in stocks,
Mm-hmm.
adding some gold to the mix could help stabilize things if the market takes a downturn.
For sure.
But how do I actually incorporate gold into my retirement plan?
Yes.
Is that where a gold IRA comes in?
You got it.
Okay.
A gold IRA is a self-directed retirement account that allows you to hold physical gold,
Oh, wow.
as well as other precious metals like silver and platinum,
Okay.
as part of your retirement savings. It's like a traditional IRA, but instead of holding stocks and bonds,
Right.
you're holding tangible assets that have historically held their value well, particularly during inflationary periods.
This is starting to sound really interesting.
Yeah,
But I have to admit, the world of IRAs can feel a bit complicated.
I understand.
What are the advantages of choosing a gold IRA over just buying gold on my own?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One of the key benefits of a gold IRA is the tax advantage.
Oh.
It's just like with a traditional IRA. Mm-hmm.
Your contributions may be tax deductible, and your investments grow tax deferred,
Okay.
meaning you don't pay taxes on those gains until you withdraw the funds in retirement.
So I'm potentially saving on taxes now and letting my investment grow tax-free until retirement.
Yeah.
That sounds like a win-win.
It can be, of course, as with any investment strategy.
Yeah.
It's important to consult with a financial advisor to determine if a gold IRA is the right fit for your individual circumstances.
Absolutely. It sounds like a gold IRA could be a smart way to add some stability and inflation protection to my retirement plan. But is there a way to potentially amplify those benefits and add another layer of protection? You mentioned something called private placement life insurance earlier.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that? This is where it's really intriguing, right?
You're right. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Private placement life insurance, or PPLI, is a powerful financial tool often used by high net worth individuals and families.
Looking for sophisticated wealth management and legacy planning solutions, but it's something that can be beneficial for anyone who wants to maximize the growth and protection of their assets.
Okay, so it sounds like PPLI isn't just your average life insurance policy.
No, it's not.
Can you break down what makes it so unique?
Here.
And why it might be a good fit for someone who is also considering a gold IRA?
Absolutely. One of the key features of PPLI is that it offers tax-deferred growth on your investments within the policy. Imagine it as a protective wrapper around your assets, your investments, which could include your gold IRA, grow within this wrapper,
Right.
shielded from immediate taxation.
So instead of paying taxes on my investment gains every year,
Right.
I can let those gains compound and grow tax-deferred within the PPLI policy.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how this could be powerful.
It is. That tax-deferred growth can make a significant difference over time, potentially accelerating the growth of your savings.
This is fascinating. I'm already seeing how a gold IRA, with its potential for stability and inflation protection, could work really well within this PPLI structure.
Yes.
But I'm sure there's more to it, right?
There is. One of the most appealing aspects of PPLI is its flexibility.
Yeah.
Unlike traditional retirement accounts, which often limit your investment choices,
Okay.
PPLI allows you to hold a much wider range of assets, including alternative investments like real estate, private equity, and of course, precious metals.
Oh, wow.
So you have the potential stability and inflation hedge of physical gold held within a tax-advantaged gold IRA, and then you layer on the tax-deferred growth potential and asset flexibility of PPLI. It creates a powerful synergy.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. So if I'm understanding this correctly, we're talking about creating a multi-layered strategy where I can potentially benefit from gold's stability, the tax advantages of a gold IRA, and the additional tax benefits and flexibility of PPLI.
That's right.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
It can be an incredibly powerful strategy. But as with anything in finance, it's important to understand all the details and make sure it aligns with your individual goals and risk tolerance. That's why it's crucial to work with experienced professionals who can guide you through the process and make sure everything is structured correctly.
That makes total sense. We're talking about potentially protecting my life savings and ensuring a secure financial future for myself and my loved ones.
Right.
This isn't something I want to gamble with.
Yeah. No.
But it sounds like PPLI in particular
Yeah.
is a bit more complex than just setting up a regular gold IRA.
It is a little bit more complex.
What are some of the things I should be aware of or look out for?
You're right. PPLI is a sophisticated tool that requires careful planning and execution. One thing to keep in mind is that PPLI policies are regulated by the IRS, and there are certain rules and guidelines that need to be followed.
Okay.
For example, the gold you choose to hold within your gold IRA needs to meet IRS standards for purity and fineness. You can't just throw any old gold bar in there.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to jeopardize the tax advantages by not following the rules properly.
No.
So how do I make sure I'm choosing the right gold for my gold IRA?
That's where working with a reputable gold IRA custodian comes in.
Okay.
They can help you select gold that meets IRS requirements and guide you through the process of setting up and funding your account.
Okay, so I need to do my research and find a trustworthy custodian who can help me navigate the ins and outs of a gold IRA. What about the PPLI side of things?
Yeah.
Are there any specific considerations I need to keep in mind?
Yes, absolutely. Structuring a PPLI policy correctly is essential to maximize its benefits and ensure it aligns with your overall financial plan. This is where working with an experienced estate planning attorney and tax advisor is critical.
Okay.
They can help you determine the appropriate death benefit, choose the right investment options, and make sure the policy is structured in a way that minimizes potential tax liabilities.
It sounds like building a team of experts is essential when it comes to PPLI.
It is.
This is definitely not a DIY situation.
You're exactly right. Think of it this way. You wouldn't perform surgery on yourself, would you?
Right.
You'd go to a qualified surgeon who has the expertise and experience to handle such a complex procedure.
Okay.
It's the same with financial planning, especially when dealing with sophisticated strategies like PPLI.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And just to remind our listeners, if you're intrigued by the idea of a gold IRA and want to explore it further, be sure to check out goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for a free checklist that will walk you through the steps of choosing the right gold IRA company.
Yes.
It's a valuable resource to have as you start your journey.
Absolutely. Having the right information and guidance is key.
So we've talked about the potential benefits of a gold IRA and how it can work synergistically within a PPLI policy to provide tax advantages, asset protection, and even estate planning benefits.
Right.
But I want to shift gears a bit and talk about something that's been on my mind throughout this conversation: control.
Okay.
It feels like this approach, with its emphasis on tangible assets like gold and the flexibility of PPLI, puts more control in the hands of the individual rather than relying solely on the ups and downs of the stock market.
That's a really insightful observation. You're right, this approach can provide individuals with a greater sense of control over their financial future. With the gold IRA, you own physical gold, a tangible asset that you can hold and see.
Exactly.
It's not just numbers on a screen.
And with PPLI, you have the flexibility to choose investments that align with your values and your long-term vision. It feels like you're taking a more proactive approach to wealth management, rather than just passively riding the market waves.
I think that's one of the most appealing aspects of this approach for many people. It's about empowerment, taking ownership of your financial destiny, and making informed decisions that reflect your unique circumstances and goals.
It really is. And in today's uncertain economic environment, that sense of control and empowerment can be incredibly valuable.
Sure.
But let's dive a bit deeper into the PPLI side of things.
Okay.
We've talked about tax-deferred growth,
Mm-hmm.
but what happens to those assets when I pass away? I know you mentioned estate planning benefits. Can you elaborate on that?
Of course. That's another key advantage of PPLI, the death benefit. When you pass away, the death benefit of the policy,
Okay.
which can include the appreciated value of your investments,
All right.
is passed on to your beneficiaries. And here's the best part. The death benefit is typically paid out tax-free.
Wait, tax-free? So my heirs won't be hit with a massive tax bill when they inherit my assets.
That's correct.
That's huge.
Exactly. This can be a significant advantage for those who want to ensure that their loved ones receive the full value of their legacy without having to worry about a large portion of it being lost to taxes.
This is incredible. So we're not just talking about protecting and growing my wealth during my lifetime,
Right.
but also ensuring that it passes on to my loved ones in the most efficient and tax-advantaged way possible.
You got it. It's about creating a lasting legacy and securing the financial well-being of your family for generations to come.
This is all starting to make so much sense. But I have to admit, I'm also feeling a bit overwhelmed by all the information. Where do I even begin if I'm interested in exploring this further?
I understand. I can feel like a lot to take in. The first step is to gather information and educate yourself about the options available to you. A great starting point would be to reach out to a reputable Gold IRA custodian and schedule a consultation.
So a gold IRA custodian can help me not only with setting up a gold IRA, but also potentially connect me with the other professionals. I might need like an estate planning attorney or tax advisor who specializes in PPLI.
Exactly. They can often provide referrals to trusted professionals in their network who can help you navigate the complexities of PPLI and create a comprehensive plan that aligns with your overall financial goals.
Okay, that takes a lot of the guesswork out of the process.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned earlier, working with experienced professionals is essential when dealing with sophisticated strategies like PPLI. They can help ensure everything is structured correctly and compliant with IRS regulations.
Absolutely. It's an investment in your peace of mind and the security of your financial future.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel like we've uncovered a whole new world of possibilities for retirement planning and wealth preservation. But before we wrap things up, I want to make sure our listeners have all the resources they need to take the next step.
I agree. It's all about empowering individuals with the knowledge and tools they need to make informed decisions.
And for those who are ready to start exploring the world of gold IRAs, don't forget to visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for that free checklist we mentioned earlier. It's packed with valuable tips to help you choose the right gold IRA company for your needs.
It's a great resource to have as you embark on this journey.
I have one final question for you. If you could leave our listeners with one key takeaway from our conversation today, what would it be?
I think the most important takeaway is this. You have more options than you think when it comes to planning for retirement and protecting your wealth. Don't be afraid to explore unconventional approaches and seek out expert guidance to help you make informed decisions.
I love that. It's about taking control, being proactive, and not settling for a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah.
It's about finding strategies that align with your individual goals, values, and risk tolerance.
Exactly. It's about empowering yourself to create a financial future that you feel confident and secure about.
This has been such an insightful conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today.
My pleasure.
You've given our listeners a lot to think about.
Glad to do it.
And to our listeners, remember, knowledge is power.
Yes.
The more you understand about the tools and strategies available to you, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the complexities of retirement planning and build a secure future for yourself and your loved ones. And don't forget to grab that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving for financial empowerment.
See you on the next deep dive.